serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 94 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of January 7th through the 13th, 2019. My name is Tim Beeman.
And my name is Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem, what we now call Industry Hill. Our building houses a custom furniture company, a cool upholsterer that creates things that you've seen all over town, a manufacturer of fine cloth and denim totes, purses and bags, and a musical creation station. And Industry Hill itself hosts a lot of cool new things, restaurants, chocolatiers, breweries, entertainment complexes, a high-end stereo shop, and more. Find out more by visiting industryhill.com. So, welcome to the first show of 2019.
Woo-hoo! Yay! Happy New Year!
We had a few weeks off to celebrate Christmas and other things, and just
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, yeah, absolutely. You know, I got drunk for Boxing Day. I did
and the
not
day
really.
after Boxing Day, and the day after Boxing.
I didn't get drunk because it was Boxing Day. It was just so happened to be Boxing Day.
Just happened to coincide.
Yeah, I didn't really get drunk, but I just wanted to say it.
It's more fun to say.
I was celebrating it. If I was Canadian, I would have really gotten into it.
Probably so.
The Cobblestone Market's Winter Market will be held in Wise Man Brewing.
Oh,
starting
nice.
on the 19th of January, and will run every Saturday through March 23rd from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
So you can still get your cobblestone fix in.
That's right. This awesome farmers market that is named after the cobblestone streets in Old Salem will move indoors for the year's cooler months, and Wise Man Building, I think, is a gorgeous place for that to happen.
That was a wise choice of place to have it.
If I had a rim shot, I would throw it at you. Twin City Hive is somewhat under new management as Joey Burdett is leaving to do his own thing. Terry, his partner, will continue to operate Twin City Hive, and the community room in TCH will cease to exist starting February the 1st. That's because Terry is putting 14 Degrees coffee roasters in that space.
Interesting.
Yes. I'm waiting to see how they're going to fit, because coffee roasting is not a small...
No, that's a big thing.
So I'm waiting to see how he does it. I hope he does really well with it. Joey will be starting Little Bird Chocolates when he gets back from his cross-country road trip of enlightenment. Cool. He is doing a blog about it, and he's going everywhere. Let's see.
The 19 degrees. I remember having
14 degrees.
14. They were looking to do the same kind of coffee tasting experience that you would have if you're going to go do a wine tasting or a whiskey tasting. So I'm excited to see that come with coffee.
Let's see. I hope to have Joey on to talk about his adventure and his new chocolate adventure.
I really
when he
want to
gets
see what
back.
he's going to do with chocolate.
And I also, because he's been doing that for a while. They actually had the contract Twin City Hive did whenever the Kempton opened. They did because they had the chocolate bars that had the picture or the impression of the Kempton building, the RJR building on it. And now they have the contract, I believe, to do Indigo.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So Joey's probably going to take that with him, but they've been doing chocolates for a while. He actually went through the chocolatier school. There was actually a school in Minnesota.
A chocolate school.
Yeah. That
would be dangerous.
Yeah, in Minnesota. And so he's probably going to use his knowledge on that for the Little Bird Chocolate. I know that he has registered the name.
Nice.
Both Terry and Joey have been doing their things for a few years, like I said, so everything should pick up and take off pretty quickly when they're both ready to move forward. And I hope to have them both here. And Joey, if you're listening, be safe out there.
Have fun.
Now, we don't always talk about chains, and this will be as brief as I can be because I don't go into much information on chains. I don't give them a lot of press unless it's noteworthy. This is not necessarily noteworthy, but I'm just going to say it. Trips on Haynes Mall Boulevard has closed and will become Kickback Jack's, supposedly opening in January. Trips was okay. It was never any place that I was wanting to go. It was usually more that just someone else wanted to meet there, or it was convenient to something else I was doing around the mall.
That was my experience as well.
But there are plenty of local restaurants that serve the same style or at better quality, so I would go there. Kickback Jack's is also a chain of sports bars located in Virginia and North Carolina. They already have 2 locations in Greensboro, one in High Point, and one in Hickory, one in Asheboro, one in Raleigh, 2 in Richmond, and so on. That's more than I ever wanted to know about Kickback Jack's.
There you go.
Hopefully they do well. I hate seeing anybody close down, even places that I don't care for.
Yeah.
Town Center Diner on NC 109 will become Wahlberg Grill and Pizzeria and will be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know much beyond that other than Ray sent me a picture of it. My interweb search has revealed nothing as of yet. More to come as we find out.
I hate to see that Town Center Diner is closing. Again, a locally owned restaurant. A couple of years ago, some new folks took it over, and they were doing some good stuff with it. It refreshed the restaurant, changed the menu up a little bit. You know, so you're a little better than your basic meat and 2 kind of corner diner place.
Is this the same, the ones who recently took over?
Yeah.
Is this the same people that have to do with the Trade Street Diner?
I don't think so.
Because they had
group.
something in Wahlberg, and one of the principals at Trade Street, his family had something to do with something that had just been done in Wahlberg.
Then they may very well have been that connection.
I'm not sure what it was. I just know that there was a connection to something in Wahlberg.
Well, and a couple of years ago, I used to live down on just over the county line in Davidson County, and that was a usual place to haunt. I mean, the food was good. It was well priced. So I hate to see that they've closed. Really surprised that they're bringing a pizzeria. There's already Mamma Mia's, which is an Italian restaurant, which specializes in pizza, and a Domino's within 100 yards.
Yeah.
Like, really, do we need a third one in Wahlberg?
Yeah, like I always say with that, like this town needs another Mexican restaurant or another wing place or another burger joint or any of that. But, I'm also the one who says, yes, we need more breweries. Because, but the thing is every person that does this does it different.
True.
There's a reason why there's a McDonald's and a Wendy's and a Burger King, and they all live in perfect harmony because they are each different. There's different Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, which I don't really count as pizza, but things like that, they're all different. So I can see maybe in the area, but if they're that close in proximity
they're
to
all
each
three
other,
in the same shopping center.
Yeah, okay, so
along with the Wendy's, Little Richard's rebranded as Real Q. There's a Chinese restaurant there and a Subway. All of that in the same shopping. Oh, and just on the other side of the shopping center, there's a McDonald's, Chopsticks, Asian style restaurant, and across the street, Sheetz.
So that the metropolis of that 1/2 square mile.
Yes. If you're going to go eat in Wahlberg, you're going to the intersection of Highway 109 and Gumtree Road.
Because that's pretty much Wahlberg.
That's most of it, yeah. Now, Wahlberg Diner a little further down the road, about another mile or so from there. Another good restaurant for local food. But yeah, in Wahlberg, most of it's at that intersection.
Well, I hate seeing anything closed down, but it may be the same people.
Maybe they're just rebranding the restaurant.
It could be. They may just need something new. Yeah. Maybe because there are so many other things there to choose from, they want something that they can appeal in a different way.
Well, and the grill part of that, they're not telling what they're going to be doing. They could very well find a nice niche in the market.
Yeah. Okay, so the next 2 things I want to talk about, I want to make clear because there seems to be a point of contention with people anymore. These are only opinions based on my experiences. As with any review I post, I hope that you will visit the establishment and formulate your own opinions and views of the restaurants. No review is ever meant to be a means to denigrate or belittle the good work most of these restaurants are trying to do. This is an opinion of what I did or did not like or how I saw things, and not a reflection of the overall quality or vision of the company. Pardon the pun. Take this all with a grain of salt. Yes. So, I ate at Gloria's Sub Club on 4th, where the Subway used to be. I didn't even know it was there, because that's how much advertising they put into it.
I don't know that they've done any advertising.
And I drove by chance. I had to make a detour because, this town is 18 shades of effed up because of the road situation. So I'm like, okay, detour this way. And I get down there. I'm like, hey, something's there. So I circled around and stopped in and had a bite. I had the 7 napkin sandwich, which has 8 slices of roast beef, 8 slices of ham, 8 slices of turkey, 4 slices of Swiss, 4 slices of provolone with lettuce, tomato, and red onion. I had mine on the wheat bread.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say it was good.
It's a good sandwich.
It was what it needed to be.
Yeah.
There were about 10 things on the menu, and the menus were all foam board held up and together by red duct tape.
Super classy.
Yeah. They, it's somewhat endearing, really. And the foam board itself looked like it had come from 3 or 4 other places previously. So again, somewhat endearing. Is it somewhere that I want to go and spend a lot of time? No.
Nah.
There's nothing wrong with the place, but it seems it may have been better suited for a shopping center or outlying area outside of town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Marketplace Mall, maybe Parkway Plaza, maybe anywhere but downtown.
Yeah.
I say this only out of wanting for the business to last. I don't know if it can maintain business with the competition it has around it. Okay, Hutch and Harris, Canteen, Weston Cafe, Washington Perk, Village Juice, even Foothills, right down almost next to them.
Yeah.
They all serve sandwiches. Are people going to walk down the street to a sub shop that serves the plainest of subs and clubs, but for a few dollars more, you could get a gourmet, quote unquote, sandwich that has pizzazz?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope they do well, but they have a long row to hoe.
But you're not going there for the ambiance.
No. I respect people's views politically and religiously, but don't push them on me. And it's not. I just don't believe that business is the place unless you're a church. It is not, or a political party headquarters. Your place of business should not reflect personal opinions of things. At least, in my opinion.
Not exclusively.
Not exclusively. Yeah, I mean, you should be open to a lot of things.
You should be.
But all that being said, I hope they do well. I believe someone should go down there, the listeners should go down there and try the 7 napkin sandwich. You have to see it to believe it.
I really think it's the best thing on the menu. Personally, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I've not had anything else, but that's the only thing this is my opinion. It's the only thing that really caught my attention. Everything else was the plainest of plain. I mean, it's a turkey sub. It's a club.
With cheese.
It's a meatball sub.
Yeah.
And the meatballs, I believe they have to microwave those.
Yes. We watched it happen.
So, yeah. So it's... they've only been open 5 months, they said. But whenever they were making my sandwich, they had to look on a list to see what went on it. I would say that's probably the most popular sandwich they have because it is somewhat gimmicky.
Yeah.
So you would think that they would know this because they probably made it more than whatever.
You would hope.
But also...
5 months in, you should know your menu.
They had handwritten a call-in order, and left it over to the side, would walk all the way over to see one little piece, walk all the way back up. And these people, bless their hearts, and I don't usually say that, but bless their hearts.
Bless their
They
hearts.
were my parents' age, and not as mobile as my parents.
Right.
So that, even though it was only about 4 steps, equated to about 12. It's like Tim Conway's character on Carol Burnett's show.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Again, part of the endearment of the place. It is, I won't say it's a draw, but it is at least an interesting component thereof.
Well, having had an opportunity to talk to one of the owners several months ago, as I understand it, Mom and Dad opened this for their daughter, who is still in college, but she was doing this because she wanted to honor her grandmother's dream of owning a sub shop.
And her name was Gloria. Gloria.
And then
Gloria.
The grandmother had already passed away, so her husband, this child's grandfather, worked with her to help her get it open, and then he passed away before seeing the restaurant open.
Yeah.
So now Mom and Dad are working it to be able to support their daughter's vision. So from that perspective, I really appreciate that family aspect of it, and that they're all working together. This is a family dream. Wonderful. But seriously, folks, you're up against some very sophisticated competition downtown.
Yeah.
And there are some wonderful spaces to go into that are bright and inviting and welcoming. And you walk into this, and it's like not even to the level of a Subway shop.
Right.
They really need to step that game up. Maybe hire somebody that knows how to design an interior for a restaurant.
Yeah,
Get a little help.
River's Edge and tell them they need some help.
If Kelly got in there, she would brighten that whole place up. It would be something spectacular.
Yeah.
That's what they're missing.
She's the
Really,
room whisperer.
if you look at Gloria's as a great takeout place, I'm going to run in and grab my sub and go back to the office. Yeah.
Call ahead first.
They'll probably do just fine in that aspect.
Yeah.
But, if it's a place where you're going to go and have a conversation with a colleague over lunch.
Well, because you'll have time.
Mm-hmm.
So
You'll have time.
You'll have time between ordering and getting their sandwich.
Yeah. You can get a good hour-long conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So just, I think that the concept is admirable. I think the execution is in trouble.
Yeah.
And I hope that they
statement.
don't lose a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
Again, there are plenty of other places that's not loaded with better choices. I say better in truly, it's the only way I can say it, better choices that you could make it work in a shopping center or a marketplace mall. Even in Haynes Mall, I believe it could go over well.
It could. But I mean, even a place like Jimmy John's just down the street, you've got a ton of sub choices, and oh my gosh, they hand that sub to you before you can even get it paid for.
Yes.
And it's done very well. You've got tons of options.
Yeah. They listed their side or their condiments or fixings, if you will, and there were like 7 things. Or even if you go to Subway, they have tubs full of stuff.
Plenty of options.
Yeah. Again, I hope they do great. I just worry about the money that they're going to put into it.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to change it up and hire young, vibrant people to take care of it. No knock on the folks who are running it. That's, again, admirable, but I'm sure it's partly payroll. It's easier to pay them than to hire somebody.
Yeah.
But it's also not going to be a draw for people to go in,
Yeah. Well, in downtown, I mean, I've talked to multiple restaurants down there that, that lunch hour, it's from about noon to about 1:15. People have the time to go in, grab something, but then they're back in their office by 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
a lot of them walk there And they don't expect to spend 15 minutes of their hour walking to a place, waiting 30 minutes for it, walking back and having 5 minutes to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have a tough road ahead of them, and we wish them the best.
Absolutely.
If they'll pay attention, maybe we've given them a couple suggestions to help improve the place to attract more people.
Right. So we do recommend, again, trying them out. You
Absolutely.
may find that you just love it and can't live without it. And we hope that's the case.
That 7 napkin sub is pretty good sub.
It's impressive.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I had it for lunch, and I didn't eat again until the next day.
Yeah, I did, but but I didn't need a whole lot. It was more snacky stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so this one will probably be a little more contentious.
Tell me.
I have eaten at Earl's 3 times since our last show.
Okay.
I hate to say it.
Uh-oh.
I really hate to say it, but I have not had a good experience any of the 3 times. First, let me say that the decor is nice. It's supposed to give off a country bar vibe or a honky-tonk vibe, and it does.
And that may be its first issue for you?
Yeah, I am not a fan of country bars.
I thought so.
I'm not a fan of country music.
At all.
That's a personal preference and really has nothing to do with the food. I admit that. I understand that. Or does it have something to do with the food? There is country music blasting at you the whole time. It's like many of the chain steakhouses that feel that to get the authentic steakhouse feel, they have to blare country music at their patrons like only Texans or cowpokes eat at their restaurant. It's annoying to me. It feels unnecessary. But then again, that's the theme they're going for. Good. Another annoying thing, and this is a problem I had with the porch when they first opened, they have you find your seat, sit down, look over a menu, and then get up from your seat, walk up to an ordering station, and order your food. If you want a beverage, you can order it then, or walk over to the bar and pay there separately for your beverage.
No, I want to sit down.
I understand that this may be a norm for Texan restaurants, and I'm not picking on Texas here. I just know that the porch, Claire, is from the Houston area, and Tex-Mex, she said this was something that they did down there. This is not Houston. This is not Texas.
It's Winston-Salem.
Right.
Let me check. Yep, looked out the window. It's still Winston.
Yeah, but hello, we're not in Texas, and we don't want to get up. I don't. I want to know that when I sit down, my seat is safe, not in danger of being taken on busy service nights by someone else who will have to do the same thing I just did. They have people on the floor. Let them earn some money, and let them wait on tables. I just don't get it. Why don't you do that?
The only time I want to get up is to go to the restroom.
Right. Exactly. Befuzzled, that's what I am. So, okay.
I see the befuzzlement on your face.
So the food. The first time I went there, I got the Earl's Burger, which was a double burger with pickles, cheese, and burger sauce.
And from what I've seen online, it's supposed to be the bomb.
Supposed to be.
That's why I said supposed.
So I asked about tomatoes. I like tomatoes on my burger. I asked about onions.
Those should be on a burger.
I was told the kitchen is too small to have sliced onions for burgers.
What?
And that the only onions they have were the very thinly minced onions.
So their chef can't cut an onion a different...
No.
It's too small to...
Yeah, because, when I was in there eating lunch, there were 4 other people in this large-ass restaurant, and they couldn't take the time to slice an onion. Unless it came that way already, which I don't think so. And I was told by another chef locally that they spent a lot of money on this kitchen, and that it's not that small.
If all you need is enough counter space for one person to stand in front of it. That's all you need to cut tomatoes or onions.
Well, I did opt for the onions. I'm befuzzled at a place that serves burgers and does not have sliced tomatoes put on them. Onions, okay, I get that. The burger was bland, and other than the sauce, really had no flavor to speak of. I think the beef could have been seasoned with a little salt and pepper at least. With that, I also got the mac and cheese. It was creamy, the texture was good, and has crushed Cheetos on top.
Sounds good.
Other than the Cheetos, the only thing I tasted was the Texas Pete I put on them. because I tried them before I put any Texas Pete on them. I love Texas Pete on my mac and cheese. I tried it beforehand. I'm like, I feel Cheetos. I don't taste Cheetos. I don't taste macaroni and cheese. I feel it. I don't taste it. Now, I made sure I was not stopped up that day. I could taste. So
sinus medicine was working.
Yeah, it was a bland experience, but luckily I had sat at the bar and didn't have to get up and order. They do full service sitting at the bar.
Okay.
I decided that I needed to give it another try, so I took my son Trey with me. Yeah, so he's,
Our
culinary
chef in training.
Chef in training, exactly. He got the burger with tater tots, and truthfully, he's not a big fan of tater tots, but they don't have fries.
Which I don't understand.
I don't either.
Interesting choice to go with tater tots.
And since I had heard people use the words amazing with the Winston hot chicken, I went for that with their baked beans. The Winston hot chicken was better than my burger the visit before, but it was still just okay. Mm-hmm. The flavors were more discernible than on the burger. The baked beans flavor was very good.
Okay.
But the beans were tough and broke up in my mouth.
They didn't cook long enough.
They weren't as soft as I usually experience beans. Again, flavor very good, texture not very good. Trey said his burger was bland and really didn't have much flavor. That's two of those.
I was going to say, that's 2 strikes.
We also sat at the bar and we were served. When we left, Trey asked me, what's this place called again? I told him Earl's. He says, good, I know not to come back.
Oh.
I just laughed. But hey, there's potential money that they may never get.
Yeah.
He wants to open a burger joint. So if he doesn't think the burgers are good enough, I mean, not saying he's an expert, but he's an expert in training.
There you go.
The third time I went there was New Year's Eve.
Okay.
I was performing at the Ramcat across the street, and the band, we all went to Earl's at my suggestion. So I was still pushing.
Still trying to help.
Still trying to help.
It is across the street. It makes sense.
For our meal before the show. I really want to like the place. I really do. Stephanie was with me. She got the veggie pie and the baked beans. I got the burger again, and this time with tater tots. Stephanie pulled 2 carrot tops out of her vegetable pie.
What?
The stalks and the very tops
the fronds from the top of the carrot.
From the carrot. Yeah,
why
2 of them.
Why is that in? You cook with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not eat that.
I'm not talking about the comedian here. I'm talking about actual stocking caps.
We had 2 comedians in our dish.
Yeah. This was actually, she pulled them from her mouth. They went in her mouth, and she's like, "What is that?" and pulled it out. There were 2 of them.
You don't eat that part of the carrot.
And her beans were the same as when I had them. Good flavor, but tough.
So they haven't figured out how to cook beans long enough yet.
No, they need an Instapot. Now this time...
Or a crock-pot, and you cook them overnight.
This is true. Now this time, the burger I had more flavor. A little more.
Okay, well that's some improvement.
I again asked about tomatoes. They still had none. I asked about onions, and they said all that they have is caramelized onions. Is that okay? I'm sitting there thinking it was only minced onions the last time.
And how do you only have caramelized onions? Because, of course, that's cooked. Can I get them before you caramelize?
Yeah. Again, that indicates one of 2 things to me.
They're lying.
They're lying, or they're getting stuff from a truck that's already done.
And they've run out.
I
mean, that part of it I don't get. I've worked a commercial kitchen. You get the onions in, you put them on the slicer, done.
Yeah. Now, that may be what gave the burger the flavor this time. I don't know. But I just don't understand we only have this, and it's been only something different both times. That night, something else weird happened. It was New Year's Eve, yes, and they had a Johnny Cash tribute happening later that night.
I'll fall into it.
The manager came up to us as we were all seating ourselves, getting prepared to walk up and order away from our table and our belongings, and said, "If you're going to be staying with us, we have this band playing tonight, which is costing me $2,600.
What?
So I have to charge you a cover charge."
What?
Hold on. We informed him that we were playing across the street and we're just playing to eat and go. He then said, well, if you're just going to eat and leave, I won't charge you.
What?
Why did he feel the need to tell us how much the band was costing him? I have played in bands for a long time, and we never wanted our pay to be advertised.
No.
That's not normal. His attitude when talking to us was expectant and a bit put offish. I didn't like it. So that's my 3 experiences at Earl's. Again, this is my opinions based on my experience at this establishment. Please take it as such. But I figured I had to try it again. There were people, and I mean some foodies, that have used the words like on point and amazing. I felt, well, something must have been wrong. I'll just try it again. Does this mean I won't go back? No. It just means that it falls down my list of priority. It's not the first place I'm going to take someone, unless we're at Ramcat and we have a really sweet parking spot and we don't want to lose that.
That's cool.
So,
I have a hard time with the manager's comments.
I do too. I mean, why did he feel the need to out the band at what they charged? Why did he feel the need to include us on his business? And why did he have to place it like that?
The way he said it is just...
Yeah.
That's
if you guys are hanging, if you guys are going to be spending the evening with us, we have this band that is costing me $2,600, and we're going to charge a cover charge. Oh, if you're only going to eat and leave, then I won't charge you.
I could see him coming up and asking, hey, glad to have you here. Are y'all going to stay for the band?
Yes. We have no problem with anything other than telling us how much it was that they were costing him. Not we're paying them this. It's costing me this. Like it was putting him out.
But that's what places do, is they hire a band that's going to have a draw and bring them into the restaurant.
Right.
So that's his business model, is that he's going to have live music frequently.
Yeah.
So I have an issue with that.
And then just if you're just going to eat and leave, like that's all we're there for, you know. You want it to be an inviting experience.
Yeah.
The food notwithstanding, but you want it to be an inviting experience.
Again, if he just said, hey guys, glad to have you here for dinner. Y'all going to stay for the band? And then wait for your response.
Yeah.
And when you said, no, well, we can't because we're the band next door.
Yeah.
Then okay. Well, again, glad you're here. Enjoy your dinner if there's anything I can do.
Yeah.
But now if you'd said, oh, yeah, we're planning to stay for the band. Okay, just want to let you know, we do have a cover charge for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll come back around and hit you up for that at time.
A lot of different things could have happened on this.
It could have been a very positive moment.
Yeah.
Good interaction with you and their manager.
No one, and again, I don't advertise who I am usually when I go into a restaurant, unless I have been invited to that restaurant
Right.
on business. Like I'm the one that's doing an official review.
Otherwise, you're undercover. You're Joe Q.
Well, it's not
Public.
even undercover. I'm there to enjoy a meal. Now,
Just like
after
the
I've
rest
done
of us.
that, I report on what my experience was, and I get paid, if you will, to do
Right.
that.
This is what you do.
Yeah, this is what I do. But again, I'm not putting any of the restaurants down that I've talked about today. I'm only saying that was my experience, and it was less than stellar. And that's my job, is to reflect on my experiences.
And some people have gone in and said, you know what? I like that country music. That's what I listen to all day.
Exactly.
I enjoyed having that instead of listening to some other kind of music.
Absolutely.
And you know what? In this market, yeah, country is a very popular format. And I can see there will be a lot of people that go in and go, you know what? This is refreshing to me.
Right.
Where it didn't have that effect for you because that's just not your style.
Well, here's the thing, too, about that is I admittedly have hard time hearing.
Huh?
Exactly. I don't have the best of hearing. I spent a lot of time in front of loud amplifiers and speaker cabinets growing up, playing loud rock music. But when
you can't hear.
Now I have a hard time hearing. That's why one reason I wear headphones whenever I'm recording these podcasts. The other, I need to hear what's going on in the computer in case something goes wonky. Now, when I can't concentrate reading on what's the closed caption on the television screen because the music is blaring at me, and I can't hear it, that's too much.
Yeah.
We're not in a honky-tonk. We're in a restaurant.
If it's after 10 o'clock,
fine.
Do it.
Most restaurants turn
After 9.
Yeah, most restaurants turn into a club-like atmosphere after 9 or 10 in the evening anyway, if they're that open that long and they have a bar. Perfect.
But during dinner,
even lunch, twice of those, I was there at lunch.
bring it down to a level where people can converse across the table.
I was sitting there the second time when I was there with my son. There were two women about 3 seats down from me at the bar. And they were yelling at each other, sitting closer than Ray and I are now, and we're about 3 feet away right now.
Yeah.
They were sitting in 2 seats next to each other, and I could hear every word they were saying. Even the one turned away from me because they were yelling over the music. And when I talked to my son, I would have to be lean over into his ear and talk to him. And obviously he had to do that with me. But I just
talk into my microphone here, sonny. I can't hear you.
Here's, let me get this big old cone and put it in my ear. What'd you say? I can't hear you. What? Oh, you're not talking. But the he's
that
a teenager.
Explains why I can't hear anything this time.
Okay, that was this time. So yeah, I know it comes off as scathing, and it's not meant to be. These are my opinions. I hope that the listeners, because there are plenty of my foodie friends and just people who I know love food that have gone there and been very happy with their experience. I also have people who, you can read it online, and I'm not talking about Yelp and TripAdvisor. I'm talking about people's everyday posts that have been close to what I have. I think their prices are a bit steep for what you get, but they have a massive spot they got to pay for with a lot of renovations.
They had to pay $2,600 for that band.
Oh yeah, so I get it, but like I said, I'm. It's not a priority for me. I'm not going to rush back. If someone wants to meet me there, great. If I'm at the Ramcat and again have a sweet parking space I don't want to lose, I'll go there again. If I'm in a hurry on my way here, because it is a football field. It's a football field and a half away from here. I will stop because it is quick. I mean, you order it and it's not long before it comes out. I'm not happy with it. And I hate that because I really wanted to. And I still really want to. And I hope they do business like nobody's business. I hope they do it fantastically. Yeah.
We want to continue to see the development on this side of town really take root.
Yeah.
Folks find this as an attractive place to come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish them well.
I do too. And hopefully they'll get their kinks worked out. It has only been, a month and a half, 2 months since they opened, so there's still kinks working out. I get it. I support them with that. I will continue to talk about them in good stuff. I will continue to not advertise, but I will continue to promote things that they have going on.
Right.
But I will just say that I personally am not happy 3 times going
with the food.
3 bad experiences.
Yeah. Carrot tops included.
Carrot tops included.
That just, ugh.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk some food holidays.
Let's.
Today is the 7th of January, National Tempura Day. So go get
I thought you were going to say it's National Tim Beeman Day.
Oh, every day is Tim Beeman Day. On the 7th in 1789, the very first U.S. presidential election was held.
Nice.
In 1908, on this date, Procter & Gamble registered the Ivory soap trademark. The 8th of January is National English Toffee Day. Toffee. In 1800, the first soup kitchens in London were opened to serve the poor. In 1982, on the 8th, AT&T settled an antitrust lawsuit by agreeing to divest itself of the 22 Bell system companies that they had.
So
I remember
Bell
that.
got broke up.
Ma lost all of her little kids.
Oh, and it was
a big deal.
Well, I used to work for Bell South, one of the baby bells that came out after that.
Yeah.
And you talked to some of the old timers, and it was a big deal.
So even before it was Bell South, it was Southern Bell.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. In 1992, President George H.W. Bush becomes ill on a trip to Japan and throws up all over the Japanese prime minister.
I remember that. I'd forgotten about that.
On the 8th, in 2002, Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's hamburger chain, died.
I remember that, actually.
In 1935, the King, Elvis Presley, was born. In 1947, David Jones, also known to the world as David Bowie, was born. In 1979, chef and owner of King's Crab Shack, Willow's Bistro and Silo Bistro, Will Kingery, was born.
Wow.
And in 1948, my father, Tim Beeman, the Wonth, was born. Yeah, I'm the tooth.
He's the one. Awesome.
On the 9th of January is National Apricot Day. Do you say apricot?
Apricot.
Do you say pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
Very good. You pee in a can. Okay.
But technically, according to the dictionary, both are correct.
Yeah, but one sounds stupid. Yeah, whatever. The 10th is National Oysters Rockefeller Day and Bittersweet Chocolate Day. On the 11th, it's Milk Day and it's Hot Toddy Day.
It does a body good.
Hot toddy does a body good. In 1878, on the 11th, in Brooklyn, New York, milk was supposedly delivered to homes in glass bottles for the first time rather than being just ladled from metal cans.
Wow.
Yes.
Man, we have come a long way.
Yeah, we have. In 1964, on that day, U.S. Surgeon General Luther Terry issued the first government report saying that cigarettes caused lung cancer. On the 11th, in 2010, Dutch brewer Heineken acquired all of FEMSA's Mexican beer operations, which includes Dos Equis, Sol, and Tecate brand beers. On the 12th, it's National Marzipan Day. It's also National Curried Chicken Day.
Okay, so we've had oysters Rockefeller, curried chicken, marzipan,
Apricots, bittersweet chocolate.
There are some people who have really done a great job.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh,
In
I
1943, due to wartime meat shortages, the U.S. Office of Price Administration announced that Frankfurters would be replaced by, quote-unquote, victory sausages made of meat and soybean meal
TVP.
or other substitute.
Other. Yeah, define that.
Yes, it's natural flavor.
It's natural artificial flavor.
Yes. So the 13th is National Gluten-Free Day, to which I say, and National Peach Melba Day.
Peach Melba? You gotta be kidding.
No.
Not just Melba.
Not just Melba, Peach Melba.
So does just plain Melba, does it have its own day?
And we have to wait and see, shan't we?
We'll wait sometime between now and the end of December.
Yes.
I'll be listening with bated breath.
In 2002, on the 13th, son of George H.W. Bush, President George W. Bush, fainted after choking on a pretzel while watching a football game on TV in the White House.
It's a dangerous place, that White House. Those pesky pretzels.
Choked me once. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Won't get choked again. That's your food holidays and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ealer at foodreference.com for compiling these for us.
Thanks.
The Man Who Hates the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, and Apartment 5B. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network and website directory, tldpodnetwork.com.
And next week, we will have a taste test of Peach Melba.
You bring that peach Melba? I got the artificial peach Melba with natural flavor. We'd greatly appreciate if you visited our sponsors like Delicio's Italian Restaurant at 301 Brookstown Avenue. Delicio's is the go-to Italian restaurant in town. Tony carefully prepares dishes from his native Napoli. Hearty and delicate dishes that whisk you away to the eateries of southern Italy. Whisk you away. They have great beer and wine list. They're open from 11 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 11 to 10 on Fridays and Saturdays. Check them out on Instagram and on, as Tony says, the Facebook.
And there's a place you will not be blaring country music.
No, it was from a different country. It's from Italy. They do play Italian stuff, but it's not blaring, and it's
kind of soothing.
It's soothing. Yeah, there's a little bit of Frank Sinatra. There's a little bit of Pavarotti. There's a bit of everything. Washington Perk and Provision Company is 301 West 4th Street. Have you purchased your Homeland Creamery's eggnog? Did you get any before the holidays were over?
I did not get by to get it. I am saddened.
Again, I went through the holidays without trying eggnog.
You should have done it.
Still have never had it.
But they have an excellent selection.
They do, of Wolfie's custard, eggs, milk, and cheese from Homeland Creamery,
the chip wall,
Larry's Beans Coffee, condiments, bread, a beer and wine wall, and a deli that makes tasty, affordable goodies every day. The Perk has all that. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. Again, they're 301 West 4th Street in downtown. You can find them on Facebook at Washington Perk. The Humble She-Bop. The Humblebee Shop. She-Bop and Lou-Bop. Is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Visit for cookies, cakes, pies, and other delicious dessert goodies made just for you. If you need vegan or gluten-free, she does that too. Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch-made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and visit thehumblebeeshop.co. That's SHOPPE.co. And they also, their Instagram is very informative and beautiful to look at as well.
Well, it was pretty exciting right before Christmas to see her post that she had sold out.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That tells me people are getting the word and they've come back.
Over and over and over again.
But it's like what we've been saying the whole day. Love to see a local business do well.
Right. And again, I want to emphasize, I want Earl's to do very well.
Yes.
I do not mean anything scathing. I just mean that this was my 3 experiences, and unfortunately none of them were... They weren't any of them terrible. They just weren't... With the options that I have in this town, I don't have to go back.
You have other options that excite you more.
Exactly.
Entice you more.
Yeah. And
hopefully they will take that as a critique.
Yes,
and constructive critique.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing. I'm only saying what I would like to see different. Keep an eye on my blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email at tim@themanwhoatethetown.com, or use Facebook, Instagram, or the Twitter instant messages. On Facebook, we are The Man Who Ate the Town. On Twitter, we are Man Who ate the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. My name is Tim.
My name is Ray.
And we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.